What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday Eve to you. We are back again at Urban Nation Radio with another segment of the Cooks and Books Show. It's your host, Adra Young. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope that everybody's having a good day. Excuse my voice this afternoon. As you know, I am a full-time teacher, and sometimes I got to lift that voice up. So if it's a little rusty or if I got that Barry White going on, I apologize. I got some very, very special guests up in the house today. We got our culinary artist in the house, Miss Monique Cass, graduate of Cass Tech. Whoop, whoop. And we have business phenomenon lady Kimberly Naylor, who will be coming on shortly, talking about Positive Sisters and her new book, which is a bestseller called I Am. Okay, so let's quickly go over some of the things that we talked about last week. Last week, we talked about motivation. We talked about inspiration. We talked about taking the road less traveled. And sometimes, believe it or not, people, even as adults, that can be hard to do. But as I said before, if you want to do things you've never done before, you got to start doing things you've never done before. You got to surround yourself around the right people. If you want to write a book, you got to hang around people that have wrote a book, or possibly want to do the same thing that you want to do. If you want a business, if you want to learn to cook, you got to get mentors. If you know cooks, if you know professional women that make it hot, and I do mean make it hot and good, like culinary artist Monique Hunt in the house tonight, you know, you got to surround yourself around those kind of people so you can build, because that's what it's all about. I'm back to what I said before. The best exercise in the world when you're on your way to the top or about to get to the top is to extend your hand and pull somebody else up to the top. So without further ado, since I do have my artist in the house, I would like to welcome a good friend of mine, a sister of mine, and she did used to cook all the food. I'm not going to say how long ago it was when I first moved here, but let's just say it was a while back when I made Detroit my home, because I am Detroit's adopted daughter, that I met Miss Hunt. And I'll never forget how she befriended me because I came alone. But we knew that every other weekend we always wanted to go to Monique's because Monique was doing the cooking. And since then, Monique has taken her business and her cooking abilities and her talents to another level. And we're going to talk about that. Shout out to that awesome event, Fashtopia. Woo woo, outstanding. The food was good, the decor was good, the audience was energetic, the models were great, the clothes were great. I mean, it was just a well-rounded event, but I don't want to just talk about it. You know, I got the guests here who helped put it together. Everybody give it up for Miss Monique Hunt.
Yay.
Woo! Hey, sister.
Hi, Adra. How's my buddy doing for a lifetime friend? I would call her lifetime friend forever.
Oh, and you know I feel the same way. And as I said, you know, hey, it's the end of the year, and sometimes you got to raise your voice in the classroom a little bit, so I'm a little rusty, but I'm good. Let's talk about, well, I don't want to say because you probably were cooking before then, Monique, but let's talk about when you discovered as Miss Hunt that you had a passion for cooking. When did you finally say, this is something I live to do? This is something I could do. I know I can make money and build a business with, but at the same time, this is something that I could do for free, because they always say it's something that you could do. The passion is something you would do even if you couldn't get paid, but since we have to make a living, and we all do, tell us about it.
Well, I started cooking. This is how I started. I was 6 years old with my aunt.
Okay.
She came over to my mom's house, my parents' house, and I said, my aunt is just the sweetest person. She was the sweetest person in this world. And I said, I want to do something sweet for her. So I cut up some apples and made an apple pie.
A homemade apple pie?
A homemade apple pie. I was 6 years old. Okay. Never knew nothing about an apple pie. Like, what I'm going to put in the greens. I went and found a cookbook and was like, oh, I'm going to do this. And it actually turned out really, really good. And ever since then, I've learned how to cook. It's been in my blood because my grandmother and my mother loves to cook. My grandmother used to have the same things that I do. You know, Adra. I love having get-togethers, so I've always had the passion to cook. And my thing is, your passion is what you love. And I have a cookbook coming out. And you know,
come back then.
My company's called Nick's Catering, but it's called Cooking with Love and Heart and Soul.
Okay.
And why is it called Cooking with Love and Heart and Soul? Is because it's a passion that you do with, first you have to have love.
Amen.
Love comes from your heart.
Yes, it does.
And your heart comes from your soul.
That's right.
So I created my title, Cooking with Love, Heart, and Soul, because Those are the 3 things you need to put in food. And because you're cooking for someone you love.
And girl, you loved us all last Saturday.
When you cook for something, especially when you cook for someone you love, you put your all in it. That's like in a relationship. Mm-hmm. So why not do it for your food? So you put the love in it, you put the passion in it, and you put your soul in it. So my thing is cook with love and heart and soul. And you put all that you have in your heart in it. And because we're all created out of God, this is what we do. So that's my passion, is cooking, making things pretty, and loving my people that I interchange with, who I love to meet. I love meeting people.
Yes, you do.
So I would say, if you love to cook, make it your passion. Mm-hmm. Somebody say, well, I couldn't do it. I said, whatever your passion is what you do. Mm-hmm. And that's what I believe in. Adria, your passion is multiple. You love your kids. You love teaching because you have a passion for it. I love to cook because I have a passion for it. Absolutely. So that's how I started. And actually, I turned it into a business probably about 10 years ago.
Okay. So
about 10 years ago, I decided not to want to work at the plant anymore. Went through a couple of jobs, went through AT&T, worked for AT&T, decided not to, they did a big layoff. So I was like, let me see what I'm going to do. And I've always cooked on the side no matter what.
Yeah.
So as a person who has passion for it and who loves what they're doing, I decided to turn into business. And that's where Nick's Catering came from.
That, girl, if that's not a people, this Friday Eve, if that's not a testimony, stepping out on faith, letting go and letting God and doing your thing, that's what I'm talking about. So tell us where the name came from.
Well, my sister calls me Nick.
Oh,
she calls me
Miss
Nick.
Karen.
And my sister's my number one. Yes, Miss Karen from L.A. She's created Fashtopia, which we just had Saturday. You were there, and thank God for your support. But Karen calls me Nick because I'm always doing something. Yeah. So she was like, Miss Nick, or my grandma, and I love Money. My grandfather used to call me Money Girl. So she was like, Nick Money. So I created Nick Catering from Karen, my sister, because that's what she started calling me, Nick. So it was short and simple. And I loved it. And she created my little logo. If you can see my little logo.
Oh, I just love it. And it's so, I'm a lady of color.
Yes.
And I just love the love. Red, fuchsia, pink, and the bow.
Yes.
And the bow is you, Moni,
that
because
is
you
me.
are so prissy.
That is me. So that's where Nick's Catering came from. My sister calls me Nick, so we shortened, because Nick and Monique has nothing in common together. Mm-hmm. But Nick's Catering. That's what I named it. Super. And it's been something Nick's Catering has been a joy to other people. Let me say that. Because if you call me right now, and if I'm not busy, I would do it for you.
I know you will.
I will. And I have no problem doing it. I'm not one who say, you need to charge an arm and a leg for everything, because God bless me. Mm-hmm. So I'm a blessing to others. If I work with everybody with a budget, no matter what their budget is.
Oh, everybody, you're listening, because Mother's Day coming up, and the sister bought in something real good. Actually, 2 delicious things that I've already sampled, and we're gonna get down with that at the after party after the show. But keep talking, Moni.
And so I created something called Nick's Takeout. Mm-hmm. So as you know, you see all the trucks that go around and take food to the plants or take food. And I remember being at the plant, and there wasn't any restaurants around.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, there's nothing around. There, at that time, wasn't even hardly too many. You couldn't even go to the gas station and get anything, because on 9 Mile a Mile, there was nothing. Mm-hmm. So I saw the truck come by. People use churches to have barbecues. Mm-hmm. I said, what can I do? How can I make some, what can I do with my food? And I don't want it to be, it wasn't traditional, just soul food. Mm-hmm. I wanted something that can go a long way, that people can love and say, I want that the next time, or I want something different.
Exactly.
And that's what, like, people say, well, I want turkey dressing and macaroni and cheese. And I want you to have that if that's what you want, but what about giving something different, like New Orleans shrimp or the seafood lasagna, which we have today.
Whoop, whoop.
And then I have a lot of people like seafood, is on a big kick of seafood. So I started different seafood dishes, which I brought another seafood, which is called tilapia, New Orleans tilapia. Mm-hmm. And why I call it New Orleans, because New Orleans has a flavor of variety.
Yes, they do.
So a lot of my things come from the New Orleans with the spices and the variety of things. And seafood, for Lent, a lot of people were on seafood. Mm-hmm. They wasn't eating beef or they wasn't eating pork. And a lot of people have given up pork for health reasons.
Exactly.
And so I created everything that I have. I create for you. If you don't eat pork, my green beans does not have pork in it. Mm-hmm. If if you don't want any pork, I don't do anything with pork. I try to create what's best for the person.
Yeah, and you know what? That is so good that you think that, because a lot of people just, they love him with the soul, but they not understanding that, health, heart, and soul go hand in hand. And it's so good because the first thing a lot of people are asking these days is it cooked in pork?
Yeah.
Believe it or not, that was what I asked when I ate your green beans, and they was like, no, we know for a fact that when Monique made these green beans, they were made with turkey, and they were good.
And turkey can be very, very tasty.
Yes, it can.
Depending on what kind of turkey you buy, but it's all about how you put the love in your food, seriously. And I take a lot. I don't use a lot of season for anything. I use a lot of broth, chicken. Like I substitute water for chicken broth, maybe with no MSG. So a lot of things you could say, well, a lot of people have too much salt or seasoning in their food. You don't have to use salt and seasoning in a lot of things. You can use chicken broth instead of water to make things not as dry as, like if you have a chicken breast, you can marinate it overnight in the broth. And let it sit. And like my green beans, I cooked the meat the night before in turkey.
So it can
marinate.
Off the bone.
And that's like cooking greens. I love my greens, but cooking greens, you can cook them and freeze them.
Yeah.
Because the seasons marinates. So when you're ready for that, I want those that big old pot of greens, or you take it out of the freezer, and they taste better than the day you cook them.
I know that's right. But sister girl, we're going to come right back. We got to take a commercial break, and we're going to finish talking about these greens. We'll hope that you're listening, and if you're not, do yourself a favor and log on to www.urbannationradio.com with your host, Adria Young. Stay tuned.
Oh, thank you.
Don't you look fabulous.
So what else?
What's going on, kiddo?
Hey.
Looks nice.
Thanks.
Let's go.
It's been a while, I'm not who I was before. You look surprised, your words don't burn me anymore. Been meaning to tell ya, but I guess it's clear to see. Don't be mad, it's just a brand new kind of me. Can't be bad, I found a brand new kind of free. Careful with your ego, he's the one that we should blame. Had to grab my heart back, God knows something had to change. Thought that you'd be happy, I found the one thing I need. Why you mad? It's just a brand new kind of me. It took a long, long time to get here. A brave, brave girl to try. It took one too many excuses, one too many lies. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if I talk a little louder, if I speak up when you're wrong, if I walk a little taller. I've been under you too long. If you notice that I'm different, don't take it personally. Don't be mad, it's just a brand new kind of me. And it ain't bad, I found a brand new kind of free. Oh, it took a long, long road to get here. It took a break. not waiting for your okay. I'll never be perfect, but at least now I'm brave. And now my heart is open, I can finally breathe. Don't be mad, it's just a brand new kind of free. That ain't bad, I found a brand new kind of me. Don't be mad, it's a brand new time for me. Yeah.
And we're back, everybody, on Urban Nation Radio with the Cooks and Books Show. It's your host, Miss Adria Young, and I'm back with superstar culinary artist Monique Hunt, a good friend of mine. And we were talking about collard greens. And girl, you are so right, but I just love the fact that you thought. And sometimes we as a people don't think to stop utilizing that pork. I'm so glad that you thought to say, we got to learn how to use turkey and flavor it up, because as you mentioned earlier, once it's cooked right, there's no turning back. It actually has a different taste, aftertaste than all my cousins and all my forefathers. Has a different aftertaste than the actual pork, but once you get used to it, you'll be able to tell. But let's get back into you. Sister girl, if I wanted to order a dish from you for Mother's Day, what would be your most popular thing? People are going to be calling Monique Hunt, Nick's Catering this weekend, Mother's Day for church, etc. And you have a couple events coming up as well this Saturday. What is your dish, the dish that people say, I got to call Monique to make for me? Because I ate all the meatballs, okay?
And those were homemade. They were homemade meatballs.
I know. Homemade, you know I'm greedy. That's why it's Cooks and Books. I know the difference between.
We
homemade.
all are greedy when it comes to if it's good food. Look, we all greedy on that one. If I could say, I would say all of them. I won't pin out one different from the other. A lot of people do request. The church requests my greens. I will say that they do request my greens. I don't do just collard. I do mix.
Okay.
Which is spinach, collards, and turnips and mustards.
Oh.
So I do mix them up.
Oh, say that again. Mix them. How now?
I mix them up. They're spinach, collards, turnips, and mustards. And the flavors combine together because they give you vitamins. You know, collard greens is actually greens are a cleansing system for you. But I mix them all up, and they go a long way, and they're very, very good. So I would say church, as for the greens.
And me too. I'm gonna get you out the Mother's Day though.
Right.
Church,
I want to taste for the greens, and then outside of greens, I will say my other popular is the seafood lasagna. I get a lot of people asking for the seafood lasagna. That's why I decided to make it. They do.
We're gonna taste the lasagna on Friday Eve on the Cooks and Books. Okay.
So yes.
So in high school, now I know you're Cass resident.
I am a CT technician. Class of 90.
Were you cooking for parties or anything?
Well,
did you recognize your passion then?
not at Cass. I was. Well, I did it for our family get-togethers.
Okay.
I did to cook for our family get-togethers. But at Cass, I would not say I was cooking. I was into marketing. Back then I was into marketing.
Okay.
So that was my curriculum, business marketing. We did set up a lot of things to do fundraisers for Focus Hope. So I would say my passion back then was just marketing, having fun.
But now you're still having fun, and you got your own business.
I'm really enjoying my fun now.
Having a great time. So you're saying greens, I'm saying greens. Perseverance. Everybody knows that sometimes people observe you and they see your glory, but they don't know the story. So just tell us about the time where you may have said, I just don't want to do it, but somehow you got the divine intervention to say, you know what, I'm going to push this and I'm going to keep going despite of. Give us a little testimony this Thursday, Miss Hunt.
Well, being laid off, I'm gonna say this: being laid off was really hard
And humbling, I know.
And you have to be a humble person even to deal with anything when it comes to where's your next paycheck going to come from.
Exactly.
Being the person that I am, I've come from a strong family. My parents did not allow me to feel sorry for myself.
No sympathy. Okay, and I
And
know
Miss Hunt
don't play y'all.
that. She don't play that. You don't feel sorry for yourself because you got God, and I'm gonna have to say this: God put a soul in me to say, don't sit on your tail to be like, oh, I can't do nothing. Mm-hmm. I mean, I have a lot of background. I went to college at Eastern, but never sit down on your blessings. Don't ever sit down on what God gives you, your gift. Mm-hmm. So I think what I had to figure out was what was I gonna do with it.
Okay.
And my sister's, like I said, she's my number one fan, and she said, Monique, I want you to cook something for me for this event she was having. And that from that point on, my preservatives was like, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to cook? And she asked for one dish. I think I made 4.
Okay.
It was for a financial marketing thing that she was having. But to me, being laid off, I had to figure out, am I going to sit here or am I going to be sad?
That's right.
And I decided that's not what I do because I had a house, had to pay a mortgage.
That's right.
I had, my bills, my car bills. So I decided, let me just take the little money that I have and I'm going to push it. So I started buying equipment to have, like, because actually catering business is not that cheap.
I know, especially
Let me say it's not that cheap. And I don't cook at home. I'm not a home caterer. I do have where I go to a commercial kitchen for the safety of people.
Yes.
That's your number one goal as a caterer is to have somewhere where you can provide the food in a commercial environment.
Okay.
So that's what I decided to do. So I decided to push on, not sit around. I bought equipment. Once you get some money, you start buying stuff. You might buy 1 or 2 or 3 items here, but I decided to buy, my equipment so I can have it and make it beautiful, not just.
And it was beautiful.
Not
Saturday,
just sit here and say.
Fabulous.
And I combined both business together, which is my linen business, which is Bedazzle Decor and Events, along with Nick's Catering, because the 2 and 2 go hand in hand.
Yeah, and they really did. And when I say I had never seen centerpieces because we only got 2 minutes left, and I want you to give the people your information so they can call you so you can get that business this weekend for Mother's Day, people. Man, there were lipstick centerpieces. Lipstick. There were purses to match the shoes. Centerpieces. When I say I had never seen anything like it before, and I was like, my girl, we friends. And sometimes we'll compliment our friends on the stage, but I was like, my girl is on fire. But go ahead. It's been a pleasure having you on, baby girl.
Thank
Please
you.
stick around.
I sure will.
Tell the people if you want to get a dish, greens, seafood, lasagna, homemade meatballs. Tell them how to contact you today, Monique.
You can contact Monique at Cooking with Love and Heart and Soul at 313-498-7751, or you can email me at cookingwithloveheartandsoul.com.
Say it one more time for the people.
It's 313-498-7751, or you can go to www.cookingwithloveheartandsoul.com.
Sister girl, it has been my pleasure. I'm so glad you're here. And we're not done because we always have a little after party after the Cooks and Goodness show. So thank you, Ms. Hunt, for being my guest, my author. Stick around, people, for my phenomenal author, brilliant businesswoman, Kimley Naylor. We'll be right back at www.urbannationradio.com. Stay put. Don't go anywhere.
Who you are, girl? What am I? Yeah, yeah. I'm every woman. So.
Oh, we can talk. And we're back, everybody. I hope you stayed with us this Good Friday Eve. It is Thursday, and we're at UrbanationRadio.com. Now, you know, sometimes we have to do a little twist. Sometimes we do the book, the author. Sometimes we do the cook, the culinary artist or pastry artist. We did a flip for y'all this elegant Friday Eve, and I got the one and only, first of all, I don't want to get all teary-eyed, but this woman is phenomenal, and if you don't know Kimberly Naylor, you better ask somebody. But she's been a big sister, and she's been nothing but a help to me since I met her, and it's sincere. You know, you can sense sincerity from somebody that's just about making themselves look like a superstar, and she is not about that. She is the real deal. She is about helping her people, her community. The list goes on and on, but needless to say, everybody give it up for best-selling author, Miss Kimberly Naylor. Hey, sis.
Hello, hello. So glad to be here.
Aren't you fabulous in your fuchsia this Good Thursday?
Hey, it's spring. I said I wanted to spring it up for your show. I knew it was going to be hot, so he's going to make it a hot show as well. So I came with the colors.
And you did, and you look fabulous.
Thank
now
you.
let's, man, I don't even know where to start. We would be here next week talking about your accomplishments and the things that you do for the community, for yourself, for people. But I want to tell you, you know, I like to read up, and we're going to talk about your perseverance and how you decided to keep it moving too, because once again, we see your glory and the forthcoming of your blessings for doing the things that you do, but everybody does not understand your story.
Absolutely.
Everybody does not know that in the midst of creating something big, that you were enduring a lot of things, but you kept going.
You have to keep it moving.
And on top of everything and running that race to the finish line, you wrote a book that's not on the bestsellers list. Everybody, did you hear me? This book is on the bestsellers list.
Bestseller international.
Okay, 7 continents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yes.
But let's talk about Positive Sisters first, because that's how I first met you. Because you know
Absolutely.
I love clothes, but we talk about clothes all day. But I stepped to you at a women's event at the Whitney,
Was at the Whitney.
and I was like, "Girl, you working that?" And we got the networking. And you helped me out. You didn't even know me that long, but you was like, you're an author, you're an educator. You're going to speak
That's
at my
right.
event. And I love people to say what they going to do.
It's
She
all
said
about
it.
presence.
Yes, she said it, and people, it took place.
Yes.
And you had created other opportunities for my business partner, Tracy Christian, and myself. And it just seems like we're like a brain.
Yes, we've
We're
been
like
intertwined
connected.
together.
Yes, we do.
And
But-
you guys were there for me too. One of my trying times when I had a production to put on, and you guys carried me while I was grieving the loss of my father a couple of weeks before the event. So I appreciate the sisterhood we have created, which is what Positive Sisters is about. It's about supporting another sister while she's traveling through the dark night of her soul.
Amen.
And we hold the light for her. And so Positive Sisters, I started it in 2008. The dream came to me actually in 1996. I was at Wayne State attending school, getting my life back on track. And I knew there would be a time when women needed to come together to
Yes.
support each other, genuinely, like you said, for real.
Right.
Looking out for each other, esteeming one another, so that we together create a net, a safety net that no one could fall through. That's true networking. When you build a net that works, no one can fall through because we're providing all the services our community needs.
Well, girl, if you don't come on, it's not Sunday, Kim.
It's not Sunday yet.
but you making it.
But that's
you
what
getting me
Positive
pumped.
Sisters is about. And it's just amazing because it has grown me in the process. Like you said, it's been a struggle. I was laid off. Pretty much like your previous speaker, I cook, and I took that opportunity to say, you know what, it's time to launch myself. So I always say I wasn't laid off, I was launched into my purpose. And I began to realize I was designed, I was destined to uplift the sisterhood, to bring us into a place where we elevate all of us, our children, our men, our community, and of course right now the city of Detroit. We have some amazing things that we're going to be doing over the next few months. But Positive Sisters is being revamped right now so that brothers don't think they're excluded. It's going to be rebranded. I can't let the cat out the bag just yet.
Okay.
But that led me into writing books. And I always had this dream inside of me. I wanted to write a book. There was a story inside. And so I took that step, agreed to participate in a project. They gave me like a 30-day window to get my manuscript completed.
30 days.
30 days. She contacted me. I said, I'll do it. And trust me, I was up at the last minute getting it done. But we're now published. Within 6 hours of releasing on Amazon, we became a bestseller international book.
And you know I peeped that, right?
Yes.
But the content of it is amazing because finally we are telling the truth about these walking people in pain.
Yes.
There are so many people in pain. And I just feel like I'm so glad to have your piece because, you know, as black people, even in slavery, we will talk. You shut up. You don't talk. You just hold on to your pain. You don't tell what go on in this house. You better keep your mouth closed. So I'm so glad that it had a sister say it's okay to release it and talk about it.
Because if we don't, it stays stagnant inside of us. It's going to impact our careers, our relationships. The mouth is a valve, and when things begin to build up inside, you have to speak what's going on. That's your release. And if you don't do that, you get trapped, and you're just stuck in behavior patterns that are not conducive to you, your visions, your goals, and before you know it, time is ticking away. And all those dreams go somewhere.
You better believe it. And we're going to come back and we're going to talk about those topics that I had an opportunity to look at. And then you can give us a little bit more in detail about those topics. Don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back. Keep us locked in. www.Urban Nation Radio. It's your host, Adria Young, with the Cooks and Books Show. We'll be right back.
Might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news talking this and that. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, go! Bring me down, can't none bring me down. Your love is too high. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, bring me down, can't none bring me down. Your love is too high. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, go! Bring me down, can't none bring me down.
And we are back, and we were just having that conversation with our international best-selling author, Miss Kimberly Naylor, and we were talking about the components of pain. And we're going to let her talk a little bit about it, because I know with me, I would say somewhat abandonment, even though it wasn't abandonment. But some of the stuff, honestly, I am ridiculously grown, over 40, okay? Oop, did I tell my age? My bad. But I could never get past my mother and father breaking up. But now they're not together and they're good friends and I love them both. And now as an adult, I say, it's gross. You know, sometimes they'll dance together at one of the parties. But that was just a little pain that I kind of never got over. It took some time. But I want you to talk about some of the topics that this book hits.
I participate in this project because she called it a mentorship, and that's what we need. We need permission to talk about what's hurting us.
Yes.
My contributing chapter was entitled I Am Present, because I spent the first 36 years of my life being absent, being a little girl with dark skin in the 60s before black was beautiful. I just lived in the shadows on the sideline. I just never was really in the game.
Don't have me tearing up.
So
Keep
it was
talking.
an honor to start living my life. So to be a part of this project and to hear some men come forward and talk about their addictive behavior to, things like even pornography or drug and alcohol, or people who have been adopted and still trying to deal with not feeling abandoned, where they're just being merciful and wanting me to be their child, or did they really want me? And we don't talk enough about the pain. And one of my programs that I use is called From Pain to Prosperity.
Say that
We take you on a
again.
5-step journey, because when you hold that pain, as I was saying, you're blocking your prosperity. You're not going to show up in the world with all your gifts and talents because you're too preoccupied with this pain and my decisions about myself as a result of the pain that other people inflicted on me. Pain happens. It's what we decide about ourselves that determines our outcome, not the situation. So we helped women and men have an opportunity to say, you know what? It was pain. It happened. But it doesn't hold me back. I can live my passions. So we have to find our passions and live them out.
Would you just say them 2 words one more time for the Urban Nation world?
Find your passion and live it out.
Yes. Yes.
Don't play small anymore. No. When you play small, I say in this word, small is ALL. When you play small, you impact us all.
Right.
So we need you to be your biggest. We need you to be amazing. Because like we were talking about your passion with cooks and books, and you get it all together. And I remember hearing myself saying, what do you do? I said, well, on the side, I do coaching. On the side, I do mentoring. And I was thinking, on the side of what? And I said, why am I living on the side of my life when my life is going to have a set amount of days? So I decided I'm not living on the side of my life. This is my life. My passion is my life. And it has produced the prosperity, has produced more purpose, fulfillment, and meaning. And this is what I bring. Step into the passion of your life. Let your purpose be birthed out of the pain. You blocking your prosperity if you don't.
Woo! People, did you hear that?
Yes.
You are blocking your prosperity if you don't do something about that pain.
Yes.
Okay, so when you were contacted to do this and you had 30 days to do it, I'm an author of 3 books. Kimberly, you must be some kind of genius, because I'm going to tell you, I'm editing for at least 2 months before I let a book out. And sometimes I still feel like, I could have did better. That could have sounded better.
You know,
How'd you do it?
Every week after I wrote it the first days, I just really woke up and I said, what do I want the world to know? And I just let it flow. And then I went back and edited and put, cut paragraphs and made more of a sequence of the story. But I think I just stayed connected to what that painful experience was like in my life. And that's what I wanted people to know. I didn't want to sugarcoat it. I didn't want to say, what are people going to think of me? Hell, we say life happens.
Yeah.
Or we say another word sometimes. But you know what? That's what my experience was. And I wanted it out there because you know what? Somebody is experiencing that right now. And if they pick up that book, I want them to know, say, oh my God, if she made it, so can I. No filters, straight out there. And so when I sent it in for editing, I was waiting for my revision because I saw the different ones, revision 2. Mine didn't come back. Now I found a few little
Glitches,
glitches
right.
since then, but
Sure.
there were very few. They wouldn't lose the meaning. Just a few words need to be corrected. We'll probably do on the next publication. But it was truly an honor. I just put my heart into it, and I was very honored that it was accepted and went right through the press.
When I say wow, I was like amazed, and at the same time, I was so proud. I'm like, this book says international bestseller.
Yes.
And people don't understand how hard that is to accomplish.
In 6 hours?
In 6 hours.
Yes, within
That
6 hours.
does not happen on the regular occasion, especially when it comes to a book, because there's so many being wrote about so many different
Yes.
topics. So from divine intervention, this book, your portion of the book came, it was meant to be released.
It was the timing for that book. The whole experience, the people I've met, these other 28 authors, we're bonded at the hips forever. I'm doing some collaborative projects already. Just amazing. Everyone realized it was important for this to happen. And the compiler, bless her heart, she just reached out. She was divinely led who to bring in. And I've never seen it. I'm working on some projects. About 2 months of edit. I'm working on a project. We've been 2 years into the project.
Yes.
I'm on a project. We've been over 9 months into the project. This one was in January and April, mid-April. The only pushback was 1 week. And it was released in within 6 hours. Bestseller.
And when I say it's being seen everywhere, when I type your name, it's coming up. It's on Amazon. Everybody is talking about it. The Facebook community is talking about it. LinkedIn's talking about it. Twitter's talking about it. Everybody is talking about I Am.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to get a copy so that I can personally review it. But just some of the things that I read, just the glimpse, the synopsis, I know for a fact that it's something that I need for my soul.
It is.
And
It's
I
a
am
soul awakening time, and that's why I've contributed to the project. It's time for us to awaken ourselves, awaken our souls is the phrase I like to use and want to be known as. Because if you don't wake up to who you are living your life just existing.
Yes.
And you have an opportunity to live, thrive, and just really have some amazing experiences in your life. Don't let that pain block your destiny. And that's what this book was about, letting you know the past does not define you. You can set your course of action. Look at me. I'm telling my age, but I'm 50.
And you fly, baby.
And I tell people I'm only 14. They say 30 is the new 50. For me, 15 is the new 50, because 50 is the new 15, because I'm only 14 years living the life that I love living. This is my life. I love my life. There's not much I would change about it. I'm just seeing things become bigger and better. Like I say, what's on the horizon is just amazing even to me. There's no stopping us when you step into passion.
You got that right. And you pumping me up and motivating me even more to start back on my next project and to get motivated about my new show and expanding it and then getting out to the people. What's coming up with you next? Can you tell us when your forthcoming book
Yes.
signing is coming?
Yes,
Do you know
we're going to
the
be.
date, or-
Yes, now that I know UPS has attempted to deliver,
Yeah.
I will have my books, and so we'll probably have a book signing toward the end of this month or maybe early June. I have a project tomorrow that I'm focusing on down at the African American Museum tomorrow night to give women an opportunity to just come dance our pain away.
Yes.
This is not just something to observe. This is participatory, to activate, shake loose those things that are holding you. And we have a great minister, great professor who's going to show us those techniques. I have 3 more books on the horizon. Like I say, the 2 that have been pushed back coming out. And after all these 3 books, my book, that's why it was somewhat easy. I have to lay the inside scoop. My book is pretty much compiled. So I kind of extracted some of it and just kind of rewrote it for this book. But it's going to be an opportunity. There'll be 4 books published between now and the end of June. And it's just amazing what's all happening. That Positive Sister is bringing together an army of women. We're saying it's okay that we're in pain, but guess what? We're locking arms. We're going to empower each other through sisterhood and hold each other during the dark night of our souls so we can arise together. And that's why I'm supporting as many business owners as I can. I have 16 plus years of a marketing background. I know if you have the proper marketing strategy, your business will succeed. They pay strategists big money I make that strategy available for your business. And it's best to get started. Start the business in a strategy. Success is just an action plan and taking the actions on the plan.
Woo! People, are we listening? And if we're not taking the strategies that will lead us to success, we need to now. We hope you're taking notes. Kimberly, what's your favorite motivational quote, if you have one? Just give the audience maybe one. Or
One of my
two.
favorite quotes that I tell myself over is by Marianne Williamson. It's not our darkness that frightens us, it's our light. And that's why my new hashtag, everything I do is step into the spotlight, step into the spotlight, step into the spotlight of your life. And what is spotlight? Shift positions of thinking, S-P-O-T, shift positions of thinking. Light, live in God's highest truth about you. Shine your brightest, be amazing. As women, we spent a lot of time worrying about our image, how we look. You have books, look amazing. I'm about making sure you be amazing. Because if you be amazing, it ain't too hard to look amazing.
And let's talk
I mean-
about fear. Girl, you do, though. You know you look amazing. That's how I introduce myself to you. Let's talk about fear.
Fear. Fear is a wonderful acronym. You always hear it's false evidence appearing real. I don't like to use that one because when someone is going through pain, it does not appear to be real. It is real. They need to talk about it. I like to use fear as fear eventually alters your reality.
Okay.
So you're living in an altered state of reality. And if you can address fear from that standpoint, I have a lot of tools. Fear is going to come. It's your safety mechanism. If I step off a cliff, my fear mechanisms let me know you're stepping out of an area that might not be safe. When you're going out in business or any other aspects of your life, you have to make fear your friend. Give it a friendly name. My name is called Papoose. When Papoose comes up like, girl, you about to write 4 books? You're getting called from all these people. You're getting contacted from Pakistan. Can you come over and help our ladies? That's huge.
Wow.
Papoose shows up, but I call him Papoose. That seems so cuddly, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Papoose.
You gave it a cute,
And I tell him,
sweet-
I totally get it. This is frightening for us, yes. But look at all the people whose lives are going to be changed. And I appreciate you showing up to let me know I'm growing. Because if I wasn't growing, you wouldn't be here. I thank you, Papoose.
Right on.
And these are the
Wow.
tools I give my clients because we have big dreams. We have big missions. So we can have a big life.
Ooh, a big
Life abundant is a
Abundant.
big life.
Yes.
Ain't no
And-
little abundance.
No, we want it to. We want it bad.
Yes.
Okay, so if we want to get your book on the internet and we want to order it tonight, please tell the audience what your website is.
The website is www.positivesisters.com. Again, www.positivesisters.com.
And tell the audience the name of this great book that I can't wait to get into, people. I can't
A
wait.
book to inspire you to be amazing. Step out of the fear. It's called I Am. Love, wisdom, and guidance through soul reflections. And remember, God said, I am that I am. And so it's okay for you to declare for yourself, I am. Love, wisdom, and guidance through soul reflection.
Okay, real quick, Mother's Day. One word for Mother's Day.
Motherhood is powerful.
You better believe it.
Own your power and mother the children you've had and the children that are yet to come.
Amen. Whoa, moment of silence, but we only got 1 more minute, so give them your website once again, my sister Kimberly.
Yes, to reach out to me to move past your fear, get past the pain, www.positivesisters.com. You can reach out to me at info@positivesisters.com if you have any questions, any concerns. We are here to empower, uplift, and to make you amazing.
And I feel amazing. Big sis, I am just so glad that I got you here.
Yes.
Congratulations on all of your continued success.
Yes.
Congratulations on this book. And we're going to have you back so that we can talk about what's going on. I really want to have you back after you come back from Pakistan because that is amazing.
I'm working on that one, yes.
All
We're gonna
right.
make that one happen.
Super. Well, once again, our time has come to an end. The Cooks and Books Show on Urban Radio, on Urban Radio, www.urbanradionation.com. I hope you tune in next week, the same time. Hope you had a good time. And please join me again next Thursday. Take care, everybody.